Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Two topics for this video. The first one, Trump is very upset with Zelensky, and the United States cancel a press conference with Zelensky. That's one. And the other one, overall, over these 3 years in the United States of America and some other places on this planet, what the Russians are doing or have been doing in Ukraine was labeled as Russian aggression. I mean, if you live in the free world, you heard this term or terms every day when they were referring to the Russians in Ukraine. Now, United States of America drops the term Russian aggression. So yesterday it was Russian aggression doing thing A. Now the Russians continue to do that thing A, but the interpretation is there's no more Russian aggression. Why is that? Well, when you try to make friends and negotiate, you have to be flexible. All right, let's start with the first topic. It comes from Russia Today. It is from the 21st of February 2025. Trump very upset with Zelensky. Marco Rubio says, the US Secretary of State. The Ukrainian leader flip-flopped on proposed mineral resource deal with the United States, the Secretary of State has said. When you say flip-flop, what do you mean? Change your mind, lied one time? What's going on? US President Donald Trump is, and I'm quoting, very upset with Ukrainian leader Vladimir Zelensky, according to Secretary of State Marco Rubio, citing a disagreement over a proposed mineral rights deal. If you're not familiar with what's going on, now the Americans want Ukrainians to pay out. It's a neocolonialism style payout, which is I defend you, you give me protection fee. Okay, so you pay, so I protect you, and I ignite a war, I get you to war, I give you the weapons to destroy my enemy, you fail, I fail, and then I say, you know what, I want my investment back. It's your fault. If you want me to protect you from the evil baboon or the boogeyman that I created, and I got you into it, now you have to pay me. How? You give me some of your wealth from earth minerals. How about that one? Zelensky will do that. The problem is he has to play nicely because around him are a lot of Ukrainians. And he's alone with Zhmyhal and Yermak and Reznikov among the Ukrainians. So he has to play hard to catch. No, we're not going to sell our country. He will. He got that country in a war for those interests. He will give them the mineral. I predict that 100%. They're going to say, well, they didn't give them like that. You'll see. He's going to give them. But he's going to play hard because he has to be popular, because he's a Ukrainian nationalist. He's patriot. He's not. Anyway, so that's what happens. He's going to do that. And now Trump says, you know what, you got to give me access to your resources. And these guys will, I guarantee you that. And because of that, here, it was a meeting between the American envoy in Ukraine. He met with Zelensky and Mr. What's his name here? Kellogg, Mr. Keith Kellogg met Zelensky, and the United States of America, after the meeting, canceled a news conference between them. Why? Well, they tried to isolate Zelensky and give him some warnings. That is, you pay out or put out, and then we're going to have a good relationship. Otherwise, we're going to get you out of that place. And Zelensky will agree because he got the script a long time ago. He's been following the script for about 5 years already? 4 years, 5 years? Now, here it is. Associated Press. A news conference between Zelenskyy, because it's double Y, and Trump's Ukraine envoy is cancelled amid growing tensions. I think this is just a staged, made up tension, but we'll find out. This guy right here will give this guy everything, and he has to be playing hard to get. A planned news conference after talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and US President Donald Trump's Ukraine envoy was cancelled Thursday as political tensions deepened between the two countries over how to end the almost 3 years war with Russia. All right, and then we had meow meow just going over my keyboard. The format of the press event, which was to include comments to the media by Zelensky and retired U.S. Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, was changed at the last minute so that the two did not deliver statements or field questions from journalists. Very transparent. But I talk about the Russians. The change was requested by the U.S., I think was imposed by the U.S. side, Ukrainian presidential spokesman said. So, I think this is just a negotiating way. I mean, just play, oh my God, they're not doing okay. And we have to do it because otherwise the Americans will not guarantee our safety against the boogeyman that is in our country because, I don't know, it was unprovoked and unjustifiable attack. Remember? All right, so that's the garbage they tell us. And now let's see how the Americans opposed the term Russian aggression. So the Russian aggression, no more. The same, Putin is not a criminal anymore, as many others were not criminals. They were criminals yesterday, but now maybe he's a reformed jihadist. Maybe, like the guy in Syria that... No? Okay, let's read this article coming from Russia Today. U.S. opposes term Russian aggression, end quote, in G7 statements. I wonder why. So what about the other? So G7 is... it's comprised of 7 countries, one of which is United States of America. So there are 6 more countries in the G7. It's not G1 plus 6. It's G7, right? So they all have the equal, like NATO. NATO is not United States plus baboons. No, it's a defense organization, even though at first it was called what? US's Defense Organization, Washington Treaty. That's how it was called. Now we have G7, but the United States says, no, you know what? We're not going to have the term Russian aggression over there. What are we going to put? I know, Russian caressing or something? This tells you how flimsy these terms are made and just dropped. The reported pursuit of softer wording makes a stark shift in Washington's stance. The US is objecting to use of the term Russian aggression in an upcoming G7 statement marking the 3rd anniversary of the escalation of the Ukraine conflict. The Financial Times reported on Thursday, citing Western officials familiar with the matter. So what do you think it has here? The group of 7 comprising of US, UK, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, and Japan, all these are dying economies right there, has traditionally issued declarations of support for Ukraine since February 2022, routinely using terms such as Russia's war of aggression and unprovoked full-scale invasion. However, according to the Financial Times sources, U.S. envoys are now advocating for softer language, proposing reference to the Ukraine conflict. So, who's with the propaganda here? Oh, Russia Today, Sputnik, yeah, they are involved in propaganda. So are these guys here. Moreover, why? At least the other guys don't play this kind of mirage, we're the free world, we're the free media, we're the true media. The other guys don't play that one. So the crimes, let's say, you have a criminal, we have 2 criminals. Let's say the crimes, let's say, are equal. But one of the criminal doesn't pretend that he's a saint, but the other one pretends he's a saint. So this guy, the ones that pretends he's a saint but has crimes this many, and the guy who says, yeah man, I'm a criminal, or I'm okay guy, I'm not perfect, I'm an okay guy. This is the other media, which one is more baboonish? I think the ones who pretend that they are perfect and fantastic, and they are the ideal media, but they are committing the same propaganda as the other ones. So that's what, and besides, that media is not a media that I'm supposed to read. That's for the Russians, for whatever. But I'm reading, or I'm watching, which I'm not actually, I'm just watching certain excerpts of CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, and these media operatives who supposedly are American media, are for our consumption. Now, they propagandize me. I don't like that. I don't care about those guys. They can propagandize whoever. So you know what I mean? Is one of my family members who pretends to be perfect and is a criminal versus the other one, some other person's family member who's the same criminal but doesn't pretend he's perfect or fantastic. That's the hypocrisy that bothers me about this. At least say it, like Trump. Yeah, man, we're gonna come and get it. Yeah, we're gonna do this. So at least he says, yeah, man, we're criminals and we're gonna show you that. He doesn't pretend to say, well, you know what, we're fantastic here. I mean, from time to time he gets that, he has to, for the public consumption. But at least he comes and shows how the world is made out of, which is power, strength. Who's stronger gets it all. It's not like, oh, let's discuss maybe if I drink more soybean latte, I'm going to start lactating and my pink hair and I might cut my balls off. And no, that's, how do you call that? A mirage. That is really delusion. This is infantile. Those people are still at the infantile level of make-believe. I used to think I'm Hercules. I used to think I'm Zeus. I used to think I'm Tarzan. I used to think I'm all these guys, John Wayne. That's not, the John Wayne, that's what I thought to be. I thought I was Superman. But after a while, after I don't know how old I was, all these things dropped because I knew, and even when I made believe, I knew I wasn't that. Or Spider-Man. I knew I wasn't. But these guys really believe they are. So it's the mental illness is obvious. It's not a developmental, mirage. Like when you're a kid, you think you're that. No, it lingers. So it has no age or brain, how do you call that, get well process. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.